you think truly that Chelsea are just there, or do you think they're a real contender?
Contender, no.
You know that NFF are a perpetual bunch of fools.
But I'm not a fool,
I think that I'll say that again.
I like that.
Number one, they are still holding late Stephen Keshi. They are still holding quite a lot of people. We know they do that all the time. That's their own job.
Secondary school football was a lot more entertaining than what we saw against Congo DR that day. That game should not have dragged to the extra time. We don't play chaotic football.
Overrated player.
The freezer is broken. I don't think it's overrated. See, if Ronaldo comes on this podcast today, if he comes and just 2 minutes, just come and just say hello and go. Arsenal is like, they're like chihuahuas. Mark my words. In Europe right now, in the world right now, it doesn't get better than Osimhen.
It's the Box 18 podcast. Straight from the box.
No VAR needed.
All right, guys, there's quite a lot to unpack this lovely day.
Hey,
and I tell you,
what shall I render? What shall I render? What shall I render to you, oh Lord?
I don't know it again.
Actually, because Nigeria don't have from 2026 World Cup. What shall I render to you, oh Lord?
My guys, my people, it's a very sad time for Nigerian football. You know, whether you are from this part of the world or watching from outside, it is a place that we should not even be. And I'll be very, very critical at this point in time with Nigeria football. The World Cup saga will not leave us anytime soon. 2 months from now, we'll talk about it. After the Nations Cup, we'll definitely talk about it because how can it be that a country with 150,000 people,
giant of Africa,
at the World Cup, 150 people, 1,000 people,
yes,
they are celebrating. That number is not as big as Alimosho. I can even tell you that people living in Bariga are much more than 150,000. And here over 220 million
people.
Back to back, we have failed to make it to the World Cup.
Would not watch the World Cup for the second time running.
And today, we are going to be very, very, straight with who should take the blame.
Yes.
We are not trying to be too critical. It is just a normal thing because after a massive failure, we need to look at what and why that happened and also see if we can just give a simple solution to those that are in charge of our football. And let's talk about the World Cup itself first. At a point in time where Africa is allotted 9 spots automatically with an extra 1 to make it 10 or 9.5 if we are able to qualify. The major window, we disappointed. They now created another group for Olodo people.
We even got a gift. Somebody withdrew.
So, and we are at the top of that Olodo group by ranking of all the teams that will play in the continental playoff and also the one in Africa.
Yes.
Yet again, we missed out. How crazy can that be?
Big time. I'm not going to. So I was on this particular day when we played against Congo DR. I was at an event, right? It was an event of close to like 1,000 people. And right after the event, like nobody should go home. Let's band together. Let's watch the match. Only if we had known that we were buying together to sorrow together. It was a break.
It's not funny, honestly.
I have never seen. It was like a cloud of darkness and sadness cover everybody. Everybody went silent for about 30 minutes. Like we was hearing. And that was how sad it was that, we had a lot of hopes. And seeing what we did in the last game against Gabon, how we won, the ginger, how everybody sort of, rallied around in the extra time, of that game. And boom, Osimhen went out. And it was almost like the dominoes came falling after that. No sense of urgency. No sense of like, it was like the life of the team was taken out of that game. We were saying in NAIJA that was playing like if we were playing amateur under 17 football, or even secondary school football was a lot more entertaining than what we saw against Congo DR that day. That game should not have dragged to the extra time. We lost focus. Unwa Bali, great guy, good keeper, but to be honest, at certain games like that, should not be found playing. I get that. I mean, he's a decent guy, he has come from Nigeria.
Are you sure? See, let's
a decent goalkeeper.
Let's say it the way it is.
He's a decent goalkeeper.
I think I've been opportune to see about 2 generation of Nigerian goalkeepers.
Yes.
You know, the early 90s when we had likes of Peter Rufai, Wilfred Agonibare, Aloy Hagu. We also had,
even
I think,
Yama.
even Kesho Rumu was part of that.
Kesho Rumu, yes.
Then after that, we had the set of Kesho Rumu, who was a link between the Aloy Hagus of this world and Yama. We had Dida Inuba, we had Kali Keme, because of and these are guys that when you call them into this in between the sticks, they will want to give their life and be very serious. Nwabali, a good goalkeeper, decent average.
Yeah, decent goalkeeper. But plays too much.
But just like this guy said, this is a funny guy on Instagram. You know, as much as I love that guy, he apologized first and he said,
I'm sorry, I spoke to you. I called your father's name, but you're a fool. To be honest.
How can you take a whole Nigerian people, your players and the entire nation, and you are taking them by the scruff of their neck? I almost had an attack when he misplaced a pass. But in the end, it is what it is. Nigeria against Congo was a pathetic game. It was a game that we had no business playing the extra time because those guys should have demolished the Super Eagles. And when they had issues with NFL, we'll still come back to that. They failed to, they said that we are not going to play football, we are not going to train.
Yes.
And they have forgotten that club football is completely different from what you do international level. Yes. You just have 3 days to train. 3 days to train.
Yes.
And you miss a whole day for not training. It came back to haunt us.
I would not say that the entire thing came back to haunt us in that way. I feel that if we were still lost that game, like not that game, even without the guys. I mean, during Pesero and Finita time, do we waste time on training? No.
But this is
players reported for camp on time, but they still flopped. They drew unnecessary games. They lost unnecessary games.
But this is just a game to the World Cup.
I get it.
You can't mess those games up.
We are going to come back to the NFF debacle, and why I am a lot more pained in all of this, I think that we don't get the kind of squad we have at the national team every year. I feel Nigeria is blessed, even though we have certain deficiencies at certain departments. Like, for example, the midfield of Nigeria is not what it used to be.
Absolutely.
But I feel right now, the squad of the Nigerian team is arguably one of the most talented teams we've had in a while. Right? There might be arguments about how they came in, but look at Benjamin Frederick. While we are thinking about, Trust Ekong is aging, and when Leon Balogun was aging out, Ekong stepped in. We in the last couple of years we had talents that have come in and fill certain spots that we've had worries about. Right now we have the golden year of strikers in Nigeria. We have the golden age of strikers in Nigeria. Almost every Nigerian striker right now is playing at the top level in their various league. Arokodare, Osimhen.
Only one they show up every time. How can we have this league of strikers?
But
we now depend on Osimhen.
You understand?
We'll still get the ball. Let's talk about the NFF issue now. Whether you like it or not, every kitchen sink will go back to them.
See, we'll go back. We'll go to NFS in a bit, but I want to say this.
Okay.
And we don't understand how detrimental it is for us now until the next 4 years. The crop of players we have right now, in the next 4 years, they will be in their late 20s.
And their problem.
Early 30s.
They will miss the World Cup.
I know, early 30s. And coming back to NFF, there is no structure that allows for talent. I mean, look at a very talented under 17 side. Only Osimhen made it to national level, despite his talent that he had.
I think there was also this guy there, Samuel Chukwueze.
Yes. And maybe a certain Chris Santos.
Yep. That one.
Right, Cristiano Uche. Cristiano Uche, you understand?
That was Macaulay. I wanted.
No, not Macaulay. But look at the amount of talent we've had at different levels. We have not seen them graduate to national level, right? And we are going to lose this crop of players that we have, players that we have right now due to age factor, which happens. I mean, players age with time.
It's already happening.
It's already happening already. Look at, Osimhen will not play prime football in the next 4 years. And I'm not being a doomed, but just truth. Players age, and this is the prime time that Osimhen is like. This is like literally, it's been coming on for the past 2 years now. Yes. I'm giving him maybe 2 more years to play this elite football that he's playing. If he's injury free, once that time comes, it's going to slow down. Yeah. It's natural for players to do so. I mean, the players we have right now, they are not going to play this level of football. What is the structure to bring in more players to the team that will get this level? Even with these talents, we are not getting results. We drew half or more than half of our regular group games, did not qualify. We are praying to God and spraying holy water and doing calculus information to get...
FIFA and CAF helped us take 3 points away from South Africa.
I'm telling people, like, the playoffs, I don't understand. Till date, I don't understand because of the playoffs till date. All I just know that Nigeria go through. Nigeria will get Nigeria. That's the only thing that matters. Like, I did not fully comprehend about the okay, how did Nigeria make it? Well, Nigeria shall made it, despite the arrangement. Thank you, Jesus. So we're going to have a chance to play off and maybe get a spot in the World Cup. But seeing what we displayed, I am happy that we didn't make the World Cup.
Same here. Because we'll have just wasted taxpayers' money.
Bro, we'll have wasted a golden chance. Yes. That's why the fact that, of course, we know what happens when Nigeria qualifies for the World Cup. It's an avenue for people to make money. Journalists alike. It's an avenue. It's a way to galvanize the country together. Look at how many journalists. Do you know how many? Do you know the economy that the World Cup brings alone? Yeah. Just as a qualifying team. It's not just
you get inside of the country.
Yeah, it's not just for the players alone. It's literally a whole industry, a whole economy is affected because fans, brands will be throwing out money for people that want to cover the sport. People will start making money from making sports memorabilia that you can buy. And people are traveling. For example, look at the visa that was granted to people who just because the World Cup means that a lot of Nigerians get to travel, abroad for that sake, and all of that in the gutter because certain people did not do their job right. And while of course we can blame the boys have a huge role to play in this, of course, because the guys playing as well. But we cannot blame them as well because we have a whole system that is not working. 3 coaches in one qualifying campaign.
But it's 4. One didn't play at all. One played friendly.
In one qualifying campaign. And they still flunked. Pesero should not have gotten that job in the first place. Mm-hmm. Unqualified.
I agree.
But
we got to the final of the Nations Cup.
You understand? But
almost won.
Yeah, but at the same time, NFF, this thing, we're still gonna. I would argue that the finals of the Nations Cup that we got to was not by Pesero's genius.
I think it was.
It wasn't.
I think it was.
It wasn't Pesero's genius.
If you watch Pesero very well, he's a very pragmatic coach.
I get.
He plays to his own belief. At first, we're not liking it, but the result was obvious. The boys were improving with the style we are playing. But one thing about football is that no matter how good you are pragmatically, those offensive play can shine through most of the time. Yeah. Mourinho will not come to say, I want to play tiki-taka, football. Yes. But we'll take a lot of punches from you.
Yes.
Soak it in.
They
won't knock out punch.
On the counter and get you.
But unfortunately, it didn't work.
Yes.
But my own problem is that when you are doing a qualifier, a normal administration should have a plan.
Yes.
That, okay, for the next 5 games, this is what we are doing. This is the player we're looking at. But how can we prosecute a simple a World Cup qualifier with 3.5 coaches? And at the same time, several players, issue here and there. And our NFF, that takes us to those that we should be giving that biggest hammer on the head.
No, like they will get it, but I still believe that, like I said, we got to the African Cup of Nations final, not by Pesero's genius. I agree. The boys fagged out and fatigued out in the finals. You saw them play in the finals. There was really no.
You always complain about the final games.
No.
I won't agree with that.
I mean,
Côte d'Ivoire played
what showed
3 good matches in the group stages.
I know.
They struggled.
I know.
But they pick up their own paces.
I know. What I'm saying is for that, what got us to that point was the individual brilliance of the boys.
Is it?
We're
not scoring goals like 10, 20 goals.
We were not scoring goals, but look at all the goals we scored in the Nations Cup and all the play that was offensively good was individual brilliance of players. It was no structure, like there was no build-up play that showed that a tactic works. There was no structure to it. I mean, you will see, watch I know this is out of play, but even watch a Spanish match, watch a French match.
Yep.
You will see coordination. You see how, it's just that, these players have a role to play in this today. Players are not going out of positions. Players are literally going to, you see, like, there's a form of cohesion with that. With Nigerian football, under Pesero, there was not that.
It's just under Pesero. I think we have had that problem for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
The last time I saw Super Eagles play normal football, tactical football, was, probably 15 years ago when we had the World Cup and in Korea, Japan, even then we were struggling. But, ever since we lost the likes of Kanu Wako, Okocha, Ikpeba, Olise, I think we have always struggled, in between talent and exceptional players. And the place we have lacked so much is the most vital place in a team, the midfield. And I would say any team without a proper midfield, honestly, no matter how good you are, defensively, attacking-wise, you are going to suffer. so far. That is why Spain, the likes of Spain, Dutch, France national team, they will always be in control of the game. Yes. They might not even score 10 goals in a match, but because they are always in control of the game, they are likely to win. That's what we are lacking. Look at South Africa, look at Morocco, look at Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal. They have a proper blend in the middle of the park and they're playing good football. But don't let us lose focus.
Yes.
NFF needs to collect.
NFF will collect. NFF will collect. I just want to say that whilst the boys might be held to, or whilst I feel like what I want to point out is the fact that the boys got us this far.
No. They didn't.
I feel the boys got us this far.
From my own summation, the boys don't have any business not qualifying us from a group that have got Lesotho, Rwanda, what are the names there? South Africa,
quite all right.
Benin Republic.
Yes.
And we
really flunked that.
We had a chance to qualify again.
True that.
And we messed it up. It's on the players first and foremost.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, whatever we do here, we talk, we analyze, we are not doing the job.
True that.
The guys behind the camera will put this thing together and make people watching us say, "Whoa, you guys are doing a good job."
Yes.
That's what the players should do.
Yes.
Yes, there's a problem between the NFF, but you can't tell me that Rwanda, Lesotho, these guys are playing cricket. They are cricket playing nation, not football playing nation. And we find ourselves in this position. It is so sad.
It's abysmal, but I feel the boys should get some credit.
And I think they also picked a wrong time to fight. Immediately after that Benin game, come out and say, NFF never pay us for this certain period of time. I'm sure everybody in Nigeria, 90% of us will fight and start shouting. You now waited for a period when, nobody can do anything. I think strike was not necessary.
I think it was necessary.
It wasn't. It was the wrong time.
I will give you a history, and not even just in sports. I'll give you a history of if you don't hold Nigerian government particularly, or a Nigerian agency by the balls at the point where it's unnecessary, they will not cower. We've seen this happen with ASU strike. We've seen this happen with.
But not toying with 220 million Nigerians.
I know.
It's just a match.
I know.
Get through that match, then come back and do this.
It's just a
There's still the Nations Cup. There's still the World Cup. You had qualified.
It's just the reality of the country we are in.
These guys are big boys now.
No, wait, look,
okay, let me take you to England first.
They are big boys.
Let me take you to England. Let me take you to countries that also play international football as well as club football. Most of these countries get peanuts, first and foremost. Even this money, most of them take it to charity because they know that, playing for your national team first should be not for profit.
I know.
But for dedication and also giving something back.
I know, but because I feel that them not even saying anything until that game was, they were super patriotic in that sense. No, relax.
Osimhen was at the airport. He was doing a video. I want to go and play for my country. That was on Saturday. Osimhen just got to the camp late Tuesday night. So is that patriotism? Is that commitment?
Wait. That is on the player side, right? What I'm saying is the fact that we cannot now accuse the players of wrong timing. So because of players should be patriotic to their country, should get peanuts, should the NFF take advantage of that?
Nope.
That
takes us back to that framework
exactly.
We spoke about the structure.
So, exactly.
The structure actually exists. But when people are not, dedicated to their craft, over familiarity, over sabi, then they cannot hold the players accountable. And that is why the player can always come to the floor and throw them under the buses, say whatever they want to say. That was how Finidi spoke to Finidi.
Yeah.
I still feel that those are the reasons why we don't make the World Cup, because you cannot talk to a legend of this country like that.
See,
and get to
Nigeria.
Finidi played at 2 or 3 World Cups.
See, this
was at 94, was at 98.
If you call that Finidi and you call Olise and you call Taribo, they will have stories to tell you about how the NFF. How the NFF. I mean, Olise have the Olises. See, they have unpaid arrears from what they qualified for.
We know that NFF are perpetual bunch of fools. I will say that again.
I like that.
Number one, they are still owing late Stephen Keshi.
But I'm not a fool.
I think they are still owing
I have integrity.
Amadou. They are still owing quite a lot of people. We know they do that all the time. That's their own job. They don't know their job. They don't know.
So even if money given to them as well. Should that be excused?
No, it shouldn't. But there's always a right time to do so.
You felt that the boys should have let it go.
I think they do for that moment. They did the right thing at the wrong time. Is it the wrong thing? No, the right thing
at the wrong time.
At the wrong time. They picked that fight at the very wrong time.
I really don't have an issue with timing.
If they had qualified, they would have they would have gone scot through. But because you collected that money eventually, and you still did not make it,
I mean, there are still reports that they haven't got it.
Those guys is a lie.
There are still reports that they haven't got it.
So who should we now believe now?
There are still reports that they haven't got it.
Why did now play? Why in the first place? Why the strike? And why do you have to play again?
So I mean, I am going to say this, and whilst I want to agree with you that the boys should be patriotic, I think there was no better time to have done it at that time. That was the only time they could have held the NFL by the jugular, because it would have been a lot more embarrassing if we had gone to the World Cup and we held a strike in the World Cup.
What happened at the World Cup?
That would have been globally embarrassing.
Remember in Brazil?
Do you understand?
We had the match against France in the round of 16, right?
Yes.
The boys went on strike again as usual.
Yes.
They wanted more money, money for this, money for that. A game that you have not played. And they gave them money. They wanted to transfer money. They said they want cash.
Yes.
This guy, they were counting cash from evening till the following morning. Guess what happened in the next match against France?
I mean, yes.
We barely carried a leg and we were beaten easily. 2-0. I think that match ended. I'm not saying that this guy should. See, that's why NFF issue needs to be discussed here now. It is not a rocket science to run a football country. Look at England. England were very poor youth-wise. They went back to the drawing board. They had a trial under 17, both male and female. They had under 17. There was the time that England held all the trophies in Europe, except the Nations Cup in Europe.
Yeah.
Because they went back to the formula and did the right thing.
Yes.
We used to be a powerhouse.
And even now, see the ideology of Nigeria is a powerhouse. I think it's a big fallacy.
Of course, now I agree.
It's a big, even then.
No, we used to be giants.
We have tried. We have tried. Again, we have tried on the external talents of the players we've had.
Yes.
Not because we have a structure. We have never had a structure as a country.
I agree. Even when we were successful.
From the time of the NSC, National Sports Commission.
It was about Western Half going directly.
Going directly to and basically damning the Sports Commission and literally liaising directly with the head of state at the point in time. Do you understand? So we have never the idea of a country being a footballing giant.
Okay.
Nigeria it's a complete fallacy. It's a hasty generalization because structure-wise, we've never had that. And what guarantees you as a giant is structure? Look at France every year will play this. I mean, we have never had a time in Nigeria where we are aiming to get to the finals of a World Cup or even a global event. It's always round of 16.
Now, what exactly should be the solution for our football? I'll go first. I think that we need structure. We need structure. First and foremost, we need structure.
Yeah.
We need to go back to developing our talent. We need a code of conduct for every national team. And also the attention we put on the Super Eagles of Nigeria, not just football, as the pyramid of our, tip of our pyramid of our sports. Nobody takes attention to basketball. They don't talk about tennis. They don't talk about athletics. It's just Super Eagles.
And it's not just, people need to realize that the issue we have with the NFF is not just the NFF. If you go to the NBBF, Nigerian Basketball Federation, they've been having a factional issue for the past 20 years.
Those ones are not serious. I stopped following basketball.
The Nigerian Basketball League is literally moribund. It's almost non-existent.
Yep.
And with the amount of exports we have in basketball talents to the NBA and Europe almost every year, I can name off the top of my head about 30 players who are playing in Europe and the NBA right now who are of Nigerian. And it's not as if that they grew up abroad though. They started basketball here, got exported over there, and broke into the NBA and broke into the European leagues as well. Really. So it's even down to cricket. I think maybe the only foundation the only federation right now
is cricket. They are doing a very good job.
And taekwondo. But that's because the head of taekwondo is
and also handball as well.
And that's because like their heads are people that have played the sport before, and they have to bulldoze their way into those positions to be able to do those kind of changes. But even at that, it's still bare minimum.
Yep.
So it's a thing not just with football in Nigeria. It's a all-round sport issue. We don't just need a structure. We need a complete overhaul.
Now they are filled completely. Back-to-back World Cup, we don't miss.
The
Nations Cup is just in a month or two from now. What should be the ultimatum for the Eagles should we continue with this set of players and say, okay, now your final journey with this, let's see what you can do, or completely scrap them and go and pick boys from Oshodi, boys from Oyingbo, boys from Obalende, and just assemble them together and say, okay, let's just go and enjoy ourselves and go back to formula.
I think we have a decent group of players.
We do. I agree. And also, do we also appoint a new coach?
I'm not going to lie. I think Eric Chell is decent.
Is he?
I think it's decent.
If you watch that second half against Congo,
I think it's decent.
You would think differently.
I think what he does or what he doesn't have is autonomy over his team. Right? Now, how do I mean? And I am grateful for the fact that we have some local coaches. So you have Ogumodede, Ijabo as vice, as deputy coach or vice coach or assistant coach in the team.
We also have this guy.
But what is the? I'm not going to lie to you. I've seen local leagues play. I've seen Nigerian local coaches play, and I feel that there's something that Nigerian football does to your thinking as a coach. Playing Nigerian local leagues as a coach, Nigerian local, and we see what happens every year. CAF. Because this coach, look at what Tugumana did with Shooting Stars or Remo Stars. Look at what they did. Look at how they flung. Look at how Mamelodi Sundowns made a mess of them.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was saying. They didn't play in their own ground.
In their own ground. Like, are you? Is the ground like, bro? We saw how the Yellow Boys dominated from start of the game to end. It was like there were 22 guys from Mamelodi Sundowns playing against 11 players of Remo Stars. Outnumbered them from defense. Bro, our boys were struggling to get the ball.
The quality in gap was...
The footballing quality was different. Do you understand? And if you look at almost every coach in the world, behind every good coach is an even better assistant coach who is reading in-game analysis and making players say, you guys are playing, no. They're nice, shooting, I don't think we have that. So even while you are a good coach, as head coach, half the time your assistant coach are just looking at it, all they do is Osimhen, go back. And it doesn't add overall quality to the, to what we have as a team as well. Eric Chell is a decent coach, but if we sack Eric Chell, who are we getting in response, in replacement for him? Are we getting a better coach, or we're going to go and get Betty Votes or General, or who have you don't know these coaches until the NFF brings and say, I'm like, who are these coaches? And hear that they've coached one third division league in Turkey or one 19th division league in Bolivia. Do you understand? You don't hear these coaches until it's time for NFF to appoint them. Mm-hmm. You don't even know about them. Now, even sports pundits.
Even your research is very scanty. You barely see anything about them.
Even sports pundits will have to go and dig up.
Of course.
To know about these coaches.
Is it out of place to say Osimhen and Erling Haaland are in the same sentence? Or would you even say that Osimhen is currently the best striker, not just in Africa, in the world?
In Europe right now?
Yep.
Mark my words.
Europe is world.
In Europe right now, in the world right now, it doesn't get better than Osimhen.
ADT.
It doesn't get better than Osimhen.
DJYK.
When it comes to striking option.
Seriously?
In fact, I feel that it's disrespectful if you mention Haaland and you don't put Osimhen there as well. I feel it's disrespectful if you're mentioning a Rooney and you don't put Osimhen there. I feel it's disrespectful if you're mentioning Ronaldo and you don't put Osimhen there.
Oh God.
If you're mentioning Benzema, you don't put Osimhen there. I think so. I think the guy, you can see the amount of work he put into his craft.
And the numbers.
You can see, and the numbers don't lie.
Yep.
Which is why I was angry and heavily annoyed when Chelsea was pricing my striker like beans.
Chelsea. It's for them to go and pack players from South America. The entirety, 18 years old boys.
I think I can say again, at the risk of an overstatement, and you guys can come for me, Osimhen is a better striker than Haaland. Barring the finishing.
All right, guys. Take a pause.
Wait.
Take a pause.
I'll say it again.
Wait. Yeah. Look at the camera.
Osimhen is a better striker than Haaland.
A
better player than Haaland. Well, barring the finishing.
Wait.
And I'll tell you this. Let me finish.
You said except finishing.
Yeah, let me finish.
Why is this striker a striker?
This is I get you. Right? And it's not as if Osimhen is a bad finisher. He's not a bad finisher. Excuse me. If you give Osimhen 5 chances, he will most likely score 3. right? Most likely score 3 effortlessly, right? And that's a good average for a striker, right? If you get 5 chances, I can tell you that Osimhen actually, of that 5 chances, Osimhen will create 4 of his chances himself. Look at a lot of the goals scored, not just in Napoli, but also in the Galatasaray itself. Osimhen was directly involved in the goal scoring increasing chances to actually go and score the goal. Heavily involved in the goal scoring chances itself. You understand? So that's where Osimhen towers above Haaland, in my opinion. The fact that he cannot just add, you don't have to wait for him to get to the box before he does the action of a striker. But you can see Osimhen doing his striker's job from the midfield and even sometimes from the defense. From the defense. He's defending.
Well, a job of a striker to
I know,
start walking,
those extra things count.
If I were a striker, I would save all of my energy. I have 4 touches.
But
let me just score 3 out of those 4 touches.
But in situations where it matters, this is a situation where it matters. I think one of the reasons why in high intensity matches, it almost feels like Haaland disappears.
No, still score goals.
Bruh. I can name matches where Haaland was non-existent and not score goals. High intensity matches.
You can't mention 10.
Listen to me.
Since I've been watching Haaland in Germany, Austria, and now in England.
I'll tell you.
At times, this is where it's a registered word. Haaland must score.
That is where it counts.
Well, I'll not leave this guy. This issue with ADT just alone. You guys can also jump on this discussion.
Let us know.
Who is a better striker, Osimhen, the Nigerian Lion, or the man that is born to score goals? Bruv, Erling Haaland. This guy scored his father's career goal in England in just 2 games. That's how good Erling Haaland is. But definitely Osimhen will never be a backbencher when you talk about this guy. I just hope or wish that Osimhen is also playing somewhere in England or even in the Spanish La Liga. But unfortunately, those deals didn't come through.
It's their fault.
Yeah.
It's their fault. And I feel
Let's just mention the club's fault.
I feel that
the club's name.
The clubs.
Chelsea.
Even Man U. Even
No, it is Chelsea.
I think,
how can Chelsea
we need to open
their eyes and sign Delap, a son of a player that knows how to throw? Come on, Chelsea.
And even like
just sign Osimhen and all this story will have changed.
And what even annoyed me was the fact that Osimhen was even pushing to play for Chelsea.
Yeah, he was.
Because he had Alexis Drogba, who had been in talks. Mikel was also in that conversation as well. He wants to play for Chelsea.
Yep.
But you're gonna price Osimhen Africa based.
Like Pepe.
The price the price promo. Especially it happens in England and in Italy, where we underprice a lot of good talents.
Especially black players.
Black players.
Yep, it happens.
It happens a lot. We saw this happen with, and biggest example was what happened with Igalo and Man United. Igalo, that deal went to because Igalo wanted to play. He wanted to play that move.
He said,
Igalo has stood his ground. Yeah. If Igalo has stood his ground.
He said, asked that it's for free. I'm going to play.
I'm going to go and play. You understand? I thought because he wanted to play for it. If Igalo has stood his ground and, and instead on his value, he would not have gotten for that. Would not have gotten for that price. Because when they were even negotiating salary, they were telling, why would they be paying Igalo that kind of salary? I'm like, Igalo that was Premier League proven. So what he did in Watford? So what he did in Saudi Arabian League? And they were like, do we need it? And so what did the few times he played for Man United, he came in and scored goals.
Of course, he did. In Europa League.
He has more goals than Garnacho.
In Europa League.
He has more goals than Garnacho.
All right. Let's jump into the bread and butter of European football. And at times I begin to wonder. These guys were playing in the Premier League, La Liga at the point in time, the best player in the world for several number of years. And now they are playing in Saudi Arabia, in America, but they still hold the ovation, the headlines, like a transformer here in the country.
Yes.
I was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo and also Lionel Messi. Recently, he has been in the news for good reasons, bad reasons, red card here, being in the White House with the biggest man himself. Also, that interview with Piers Morgan. A lot of people had divided opinions. But here is us bringing it through the card and saying it the way it should be.
Yes.
Was that interview necessary with Piers Morgan? Was it?
I mean, the only reason it's creating a lot of buzz is because of Cristiano Ronaldo's stature.
Yep.
Not just as a player, but also on social media. It's one of the most followed celebrities in the world.
He's the most.
In the world. Do you understand? So he's an opinion swear.
Yep.
And everything he does look at him moving a bottle of Coke, look at what it cost, the upright cost online, even shares of the company dipped because of what he did.
It's Ronaldo.
So that's Ronaldo player. We saw how, Al Nassr, following skyrocketed.
Yep.
Because of it. So anything Ronaldo does, see, if Ronaldo comes on this podcast today, if he comes on the podcast today,
I mean,
it will be the most viewed podcast in the world. If he comes on just 2 minutes, just come and just say hello, and go. So, and again, don't forget that we are now in a time of intense rivalry.
Yep.
Certain fans of certain players, particularly Messi, will always throw dirt.
Yep.
And whatever it is.
And vice versa.
Even down to what he said about his girlfriend. I'm going to put what he said about the girlfriend, about how, when they asked him about his girlfriend, Georgina, about, what does he like about her? And he said that he likes the way, he like how she makes the home feel for him. Feminists took it out of bounds. Like, what do you mean? You mean that she's the house? Like, and like, that's just how the extent of what he can say. And that was just one of the few things that he said.
That's why it's good to watch a complete
interview.
When they get the full gist and do the headline for this and that, you think, did they actually say this? But unfortunately, a lot of people took that out of context.
Out of context. But what I really want to say is the fact that Ronaldo is that player that would definitely, even after he's done playing, he will still be relevant because of, like I said, he's an opinion swayer. He's one player that football will not forget in a long time.
Absolutely.
His influences on and off the field cannot be measured.
Absolutely.
Cannot be measured. So it can never go out of relevance. Ever go out of relevance. It's cast in stone. It's Ronaldo for life. Do you understand? Nonetheless, all right, as a player, you cannot deny that he's also one of the greatest of all time. In my opinion, no shades to Messi. Ronaldo's my goat.
Yeah, same here.
Ronaldo's my goat.
See, R7.
One of my goats.
Today, tomorrow, next tomorrow, and twice a public holiday.
I can like bread. I can like stew as well. Do you understand? I can like rice and beans as well. So, Ronaldo player. But for me, Ronaldo, my goat. Doesn't take anything away from Messi. Doesn't mean I hate Messi. I don't like great player as well. But for me, I just ascribe to what he stands for and what he is as a player. Really. Nonetheless, there is a stat this year for the players that have scored more goals. Guess who is in number 3 and 4? Messi and Ronaldo.
This year.
Ronaldo was number 4. Messi was number 3.
Wow.
And of course, Haaland and I think I can't remember. We're top 4. These are players that are way past their prime. They're
still doing the numbers in their respective leagues.
Putting in Haaland and Osimhen numbers. And for you to understand, Haaland has to work twice more to score more goals than Ronaldo and Messi for him to be top that list. And I think it's only like a few difference of goals that he has. I think remember he has 7 or 8 or 9 goals that he has apart from them. And if he gets injured today and this guy's playing on the most like he were eclipsed in that thing in that regards. So is the interview not necessary? I mean, Ronaldo can do whatever he wants to do. Ronaldo. Now, whatever people perceive from that interview is left to people's opinion. We saw what happened when he was in Man U as well. This same PS Morgan interview as well. Everything's scattered. You understand?
Yeah.
But people need to understand that they're players. They are also human beings. They are also players and they have a right to their opinion. But however, because of Ronaldo, huge following as well, everything will be taken, in context or out of context, depending on how you perceive it. So I mean, I don't have an issue with it.
And to cap that is that in the White House,
yes,
where Messi is actually playing his own football in America.
Yes.
They said 2 goats, at the White House. Well, that's just another ice on the cake for Ronaldo.
Trump will invite anybody to the White House.
Let's try and switch it now. These 2 guys are retired.
Yes.
In our own mind, though, in our own head, and they are now managers.
Yes.
Who do you think would be the better manager?
Although
Ronaldo said he doesn't want to go into management. But who would be a better manager?
Someone that is already training his boy from age 2 to be a lethal striker. I think Ronaldo will be a better coach. Now, this is the reason why. This is the reason I say so.
Let's hear it. Let's have it.
We have seen the level of discipline that Ronaldo brings to the team. I cannot forget Rashford when they interviewed a Old Trafford correspondent. Who is always like, in team meetings and this thing about since after Ronaldo came back to Man United. And he said something. He said for the first 1 month that Ronaldo was in United, the players were showing up to training on time. because everybody wants to get to before Ronaldo got there. They were asking what was Ronaldo eating. So they go and ask the club nutrition that what did Ronaldo have for
and
you understand? What did Ronaldo have for dinner or for breakfast? And that's what that team will have. So it will be a coach that will inspire discipline both on and off, because Ronaldo is that guy. Is literally he sees his life, the footballer as a career, as not just on the field, what he eats, how he trains, where he goes to. How it's literally about that life. And now that we're in that era of, you know, where we're talking about how players are literally losing flair for the game, or losing because players are showing late for trainings, players are coming to trainings at whatever after practice they don't have their personal workouts. I think we'll be able to inspire discipline. And if you know how things run, disciplined team win championship. We saw this happen with Leicester City. So we see this is why Man City will always keep winning the league time and time again, because Guardiola has created a system and structure of discipline and playing style. Manchester team will have flair and talent. Manchester team will have flair and talent. But most times, Manchester team will be like a military camp, a regimented style kind of, where literally things go as like that. And most times, that will be what will win, you know, championship. Because if you have a bunch of players that are disciplined and dedicated, they'll always trump, you know, talented player that's disorganized and, you know, and lack, you know, some form of organization. Anytime, any day.
All right. Ronaldo team, definitely
Ronaldo edges by you can have like,
these two guys will not be a successful coach. I can tell you that. They will not be a Ronaldo. They will not be a Zidane.
I highly doubt it.
They won't make it as a coach. I can tell you that. But it's just us painting a picture that may not even happen. But I just feel that Ronaldo, you know, being the fact that he likes to do the needful and also very disciplined, he might just have that edge. But now let's go straight to the bread and butter of European football.
Gigi.
And our first touch is somewhere at the Emirates, Arsenal Football Club. You know, for the last 8 weeks, they have been playing absolute fantastic football. Didn't concede until the Sunderland came to them, and you know, scoring goals, not at plenty, but at least they have a very sure way.
Yes.
After corner. Corner. Those that is sure that Arsenal not scoring the corner is dead. Constant K. But Arsenal are now the cornerstone of European football. If you understand.
Hey, don't leave me.
They are the cornerstone of European football. But unfortunately, they were not successful at that against Sunderland.
Yes.
But they are now still enjoying 4-point gap. And if you want to look at your back and say, who is chasing me? You don't want to see Man City behind you. We are in that zone again.
Yes.
For the first time, because we're gradually approaching December, and that's when the squeaky bump time happens. Do you think Arsenal, for real, can go all the way this season?
This season started, I was going to say that I see Arsenal winning the league this season. Looking at how Man City started this season. And the only other rival I had was Liverpool, right? And I was like, and then Liverpool started to go to sleep. Right, I was like, I'm look at this.
They pulled them out of the pool.
Right, this might be Arsenal season, you know, because literally the major contenders are sleeping. You know, Arsenal was Chelsea started to do like their regular ball and blue football. Then you know, Liverpool started to, you know, pull their muscle. Then Man City started great. I was like, this might be Arsenal season. And so what happened when Liverpool won the league, when they won it, other contenders went to sleep, and they already built like, you know, a 12 points, 13 points gap. By the time we were chasing up, Liverpool didn't even need to win any games anymore. Just draw here, draw there. And they had that enough points gap to win the league. And that's what won it for them. I was thinking that Arsenal, this was just going to be that season for Arsenal. Then Man City woke up. The
wrong thing.
Then Man U tried to wake up again. Then they still but they are back in top four. They're back in top four conversations, right? And Arsenal is like, they're like chihuahuas. Arsenal and Chihuahuas, they are all backs. They started, you know, when they growl, when Chihuahuas growl,
when
Chihuahuas growl,
you be throwing shade and you be playing as if you know me now.
When you hear Chihuahuas growl, you hear the deep. Oh, then they back and hear. I mean, I don't want to say that's Arsenal, but I will say a few things. Arsenal has improved from last season. They've improved its squad depth and also improved. Last season, one of their biggest undoings was set pieces. They had a lot of set pieces, also wasted them. This season, they are converting their set pieces, free kicks, corner kicks. They are doing justice to it, right?
And they've also handled injuries
very well. You understand? So now, with that count in a long run, We'll see. Now they have a striker that is literally, it's sure that it's not game in, game out. It's not a Kai Havertz. He's a guy that you put in a game, get in the ball, get in a good position, he will get the goal. Gyökeres, great guy. I'm happy,
But they have not been playing to his strength.
Yeah, I mean, but even when they're not playing to his strength, you see what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
He's that kind of player. And that was why I was hoping that they would have gotten Osimhen, because Osimhen was that kind of player that even if they're not playing to his strength, he'll be able to still hustle out, the ball. But they didn't work out. Arteta is not Osimhen's not Arteta's guy. Arteta is not Osimhen's guy. Anyway, it goes nonetheless. But I'm not that Man City has woken up. And we saw what this happened like last season, like 2 seasons ago as well, when we saw that Arsenal were enjoying like this thing, and Man City woke up and like, you know what, nice run, but it's our league this time. In the
mind of Arsenal that City are our back. But now let's look at City. Do you think this City holistically, because I still feel that experience they have it in the manager, some segment department of their team, they're still folding. There's Haaland, there's Rodri, there's Ruben Dias at the back.
Yes.
These guys have won multiple championships.
Yes.
So the experience is there.
Yes.
But the team, I think they're playing differently now.
Yes.
Going with those days when they will buzz you 70 to 30%,
yes.
25 chances created,
yes.
75 shots on goal, you just have 2 or 1.
Yes.
But now they allow people to play. But I saw a City that are trying to play differently because they have a goal.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a City now that just want to get the job done, whether they're playing well or not. And City have won their last 7 home games.
Yes.
That did not happen last season.
Yes.
Is that beware?
Yeah. So this is what I'm. We know that Pep is a team carrying coach. Yeah. Pep is the only crazy coach that will play a bench player for the first time in a crucial game. Who will switch up tactics that has been working for him for the past 7 games in a game that he needs to win. So I think again, Pep is experimenting, and this time it's working again. Maybe he's ditching the regimented style of playing football, no Pep, organized, organized. Now it's not dominated, but it's organized chaos. Now with the Man City team, it's not the domineering football, but it's organized chaos. They are playing like a Real Madrid and Ancelotti.
Absolutely.
Rough, rugged. Just get the win, grind out the win, and in the end, that's what matters. Do you grind out the win? So that's what that matters. Now, Arsenal's case is if they lose gas by December and post-December, if they lose gas in what ways? They start to lose gas in terms of player injuries, because that literally their injuries start around this December, January. Basically, some players start to fizzle out, right? But I like what has happened with Arsenal this year in the sense that a lot of the stress is not on Saka. It's not on Saka any longer. A lot of the goal scoring chances and chances are no longer on Saka means that now they can count on any player to get it. Before, 2 seasons ago, Saka was the creative wing for Arsenal. Now it's things are changing. It's looking different. They're playing a lot more balance and a lot more football. As it were. I think the case now. I think this Premier League will go down to the wire. Will Arsenal win? I'm not sure any longer. I was hoping that Man City will wake up and they will rack up that point. I think what will count for Arsenal this year is when they win those, what you call those minute games that they can win by huge margins of goals, rack up your points. Because once you face a certain Man City team, or even a Man U team as well, they will always give you a run for your money. It's a 50-50. You can beat them, but it's always going to be, going to that game is always going to be 50-50, because these teams might be sleeping for the past couple, for history's sake or for posterity's sake. They don't want to lose to you. It's what happens when Everton faces Liverpool. Everton might have they lost all their match for the past 10, but because they are playing arch-rival, they want to kill everything. Now they are facing Tottenham, this weekend, and hopefully, in the last 5 games they played, Arsenal have only won by 1 goal margin, 3-2, 2-1, 1-0. That's how really, really tough this man. And when they played in 2023, the game ended in draw 2-2. Last time they played was 2-1, right? And this game as well, we saw what happened with Tottenham last game. I think it was against Man United, where I think they were down by a goal or 2 goals, and came back in that game, late equalizer, got the game done. They're playing against arch rival London Derby. They will not want to lose that kind of game, because it's going to be an arrow in their chest. So what will count for Arsenal this season? They're going to win their really not even crucial games, the ones that they can win comfortably, win it by margins, undeniably, get those 3 points, keep racking it up. Once you play the big teams, struggle for your draws. If you can get a win, grind it out. But now it's time for them to start bad. They need to start bad. Score the goals, get the points against, a Nottingham or again Newcastle. Get all those wins. Now when you now play the big boys, the Chelsea, the Man U, hopefully you can split points with them. Or maybe if you can't, go for the extra, then keep your players in good condition. Keep your players in good condition. If that works out for them, I think they might win. I think they might win the league.
Well, the truth is that not that we have doubt about Arsenal. They are playing good football at this point in time. But the only concern is that Man City don't wake up, and you don't want them to wake up and start chasing you. But Arsenal, you are doing a very good job. They have not lost in how many games? Just once this season. 8 clean sheet before the Sunderland game happened to them. Now, let's talk about a team that so many people behind the camera will call contenders. I will call them. No, I think you call them pretenders. But me, I'm going to call them Avengers.
I had high hopes for Chelsea this season.
I didn't mention that name.
I had high hopes for Chelsea this season.
At the start of the season,
high hopes.
I said something now. I think it's our first podcast or there, but that's the success they achieved at the
Club World Cup.
Yes. That's enough for them to just start that push. Yes, injury here.
Yeah.
Players not arriving on time to start the season with them, and I still feel that they lack identity, they lack leadership, and at times they can be like this, and next moment they can be like this. But do you think Chelsea?
Some guys do not agree with you behind the camera. They don't agree with you, but carry on.
See them. They're plenty.
They don't agree with you behind the camera, but carry on.
Plenty for here.
Carry on.
My voice must come out too, and my face must show. This is the most important part of the program.
Yes.
Do you think truly that Chelsea are just there, or do you think they're a real contender?
Contender, no. Contender, no.
This breaks my heart. Don't break my heart.
Before the season started, I had high hopes. I think that, I thought that they were going to come in and they had like really dedicated players. They had players that were ready to grind out results. Now, the freezer is broken. Kopama is the freezer.
The most overrated player.
The freezer is broken.
I
don't think it's overrated.
I will.
I don't think it's overrated.
We'll come back to do the numbers some other time.
I don't think Kopama is overrated.
We'll talk about that later.
Every player have downtimes and they have,
What is Kopama doing inside the fifth row?
See, I don't think Kopama is underrated. Overrated rather. I don't think overrated. I think it's that guy. I think it's that guy.
He will be that guy, but not that guy yet.
I think it's that guy. Actually. I think it's that guy. But for Chelsea, I think they have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do.
I didn't miss Kopama.
Obviously, because there's certain players that drive. There are certain players that, apart from their on-field contributions, they are also what they inspire in other players as well.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen this many times in many clubs and many teams, that when you take a player out, you can just see everything come beyond just the playing style, even player spirit as well. I think I was watching a documentary of certain Barca players, and they were like anytime Messi plays on the field with them, it's almost like you are injecting steroids. It does something to their psyche.
Yep.
So there was Barcelona did that. Messi was late from international football and he had to come in before game time. And you see, in the dressing room, players were all like, more. And when they saw him, like literally warm out, and they were like, okay, yeah.
But it's bad.
Something. And I think that's the kind of player that Kopama is. And at some point in time, it was certain hazard for Chelsea at some point in time. Eden Hazard for Chelsea. I say at some point in time was a certain hazard for Chelsea. I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying at a certain time was a hazard for Chelsea. At a certain time it was the likes of Terry, Drogba, Lampard. And players need those kind of players. And Kopama is that player for Chelsea right now at the moment. You understand? So. In that regards, you can see that they are missing. That's the only argument I'll give you. That maybe they are missing that Palmer. But I think in the end, whatever Maresca is doing, he should try and do it again. Maybe he needs to revisit, the player. And I've always argued again, and Chelsea fans, don't be angry, Chelsea fans. At its core, Chelsea fans, Chelsea players, at its core, Chelsea fans a bunch of average players at its core. At its core. A lot of average players.
There are quantity over quality.
A lot of average players.
Q over Q.
Quite a lot of average players, you understand? And average players who are trying.
Mm-hmm.
And in the long run, it's not really about, the averageness of, it's literally about what extra can you bring to the table. They've not found it yet. Yeah. They've not found it yet. They've not found it yet. Bring a lot of Yahoo boys come and play for you guys, A lot of Yahoo boys play for Chelsea. But would they wake up? Maybe. We saw a Chelsea that had literally how the last season went for them. Literally woke up, won Club World Cup as well. Maybe they're still finding it. They're having cold feet. We'll see how that happens for them. Maybe a few more, maybe Kopama's coming back, to the team, might just maybe be able to inspire, that win or inspire that winning culture back. We'll see how that goes out. But I don't really, right now, as it stands right now, I don't think they are contending for anything.
Finally, there's no way we'll talk about a house and not talk about the father, even though the father just don't finish, and that's Liverpool.
Aha.
They are still the defending champions. They are still the guys that is still holding the title.
What is happening to Ancelotti is what happens to every coach in their first season in Premier League. You have a good first season, second season, the entire league adapts.
It didn't happen with Mourinho. Mourinho won back-to-back.
Yes, and that was because Mourinho did not have a style.
But he won back-to-back.
That was because Mourinho did not...
You need a style to win back-to-back.
That was because Mourinho did not have a style. So, before Premier League adapted to Mourinho plays chaotic football.
Destructive football.
It's destructive football. Do you understand? So when you think that he will attack, Mourinho will say, no, I will attack you. No. Guys, all play defense. And for a whole 90 minutes, players, you're seeing players playing ugly football, defending, not playing like they want to even score at all. Their aim is just to frustrate you and make you lose gas, and they kill you eventually. That was why it took Premier League to that. Look at it happened with Pep Guardiola. First season, second season, and the reason he's enjoying success so far is because he has built a system that can regenerate that, for Conte did it, Ancelotti did it. The list goes on and on in the Premier League. So that first season, we don't give them OJ. You don't give them OJ. And now it's okay. And that tells you about the kind of league that Premier League is. Premier League is a heavily reflective league where it's a league where literally each coach is watching tapes of other coaches and seeing, okay, how these guys did that season. So what? Why didn't Ranieri repeat the league with
the original Tinkerman?
You understand? Why didn't he repeat it? Because obviously the league got smarter.
From winning the league to relegation.
The league got smarter. It's why players. That's why we have arguments like, oh, a player is Premier League proven because you have one good season in Premier League doesn't mean you are going to have a good next season, because players adapt. Players adapt almost every season. We saw a Van Dijk that first season was demolishing everybody. Everybody got this guy doesn't like to confront you head on. So if you take him one-on-one or try to displace him, you take him out of the entire picture. And that's how the Premier League is heavily adaptive, heavily evolving. And if you're a coach, you're not evolving with that move like that, you're gonna fall out.
Well, Liverpool, you are still very much in the mix, but don't sleep too much.
I think they have the talent.
Yeah, they have the personnel, but it's just that struggling to put those guys together. Well, this is where the cookies will crumble.
Mm-hmm.
But is it crumbling on my own watch or ADT's watch?
Mm-hmm.
ADT.
Lie.
We don't talk.
Lie.
We gotta go.
Thank you so much.
We gotta go.
To our TED Talk.
But watch out for our next episode. This is lightning. Next one is going to be what?
Thunder. Fire and brimstone.
All right, guys. We'll see you again some other time. Enjoy.